The answer to validation question number 49 is D. Americans are broad-minded people. They'll accept the fact that a person can be an alcoholic, a dope fiend, a wife beater, and even a newspaper man. But if a man doesn't drive, there's something wrong with him. Art Buchwald. Driving may seem like a constitutional right, and it is true that everyone has the right to own a vehicle. But driving on public roadways is a privilege earned by demonstrating the ability to drive responsibly on these roads. Since 1915, California has required its citizens to demonstrate competence before the right to drive on its roads is given to them in the form of a driver's license. The license is issued by the Department of Motor Vehicles when a driver passes a test covering the laws governing driving and safety and demonstrates the ability to operate a vehicle safely. Chicago began requiring licenses in 1898, with a woman being one of the first to be licensed. Graduated licensing systems, started in New Zealand in 1987, are one of the recent effective weapons being used in the battle to reduce teenage motor vehicle wrecks. In 1995, only 30 states required a learner's permit, with only 11 of these requiring the permit to be held for any length of time, up to 90 days. Today, 36 states require a learner's permit, with 23 of these requiring the permit be held for at least 6 months. In an effort to crack down on teenage driving fatalities and injuries, 4 times higher than the average driver, instructional permits have been mandated for teenage drivers before they qualify for provisional licenses. Instructional permits are provided so that teenagers ages 15 through 17 can learn how to drive with an instructor, parent, guardian, or adult over 25 years of age possessing a valid California driver's license. The minimum age for issuance of an instructional permit is 15 years, 6 months. The DMV, for good cause, may issue an instructional permit to any physically and mentally qualified person who meets the following requirements and who applies to the DMV for an instructional permit: is age 15 years and 6 months or over, and has successfully completed an approved course in automobile driver education, and is taking driver training or is enrolled and participating in an integrated driver education program. The permit must be held for a minimum of 6 months before applying for a provisional license. The California driver license and identification card is an important identification document. The California legislature has declared the DL ID card as the primary identification document in the state. This document must be completely authenticated and accurate in order to positively and uniquely identify each individual. California state law requires that all applicants for an original California driver's license or identification card submit proof of legal presence in the United States. Your true full name, as shown on your legal presence document, will appear on your DL ID card. When applying for an original DL ID card, you must present an acceptable birth date, legal presence document, and/or true full name document, and provide your Social Security number, which will be verified with the Social Security Administration. If the name on your out-of-state DL ID card is different from the name on your birth date legal presence document, you must also bring in an acceptable true full name document. Your thumbprint and picture will be taken. These are some of the acceptable birth date legal presence documents: a U.S. birth certificate, U.S. certificate or report of birth abroad, proof of Indian blood degree, U.S. passport, U.S. Armed Forces ID cards, certificate of naturalization, certificate of citizenship, resident alien card, foreign passport, Mexican border crossing card with a valid I-94. There are 10 classes of licenses in California, the more common of which include a Class A, which allows you to drive any type of vehicle, not including motorbikes and mopeds. A Class B allows you to drive a van or bus that holds 15 or more passengers, or a vehicle with 3 or more axles. A Class C allows you to drive any 2-axle vehicle except motorbikes, mopeds, and buses. You can also drive a motorhome or pull a trailer weighing less than 10,000 pounds or a fifth-wheel trailer if you have an endorsement on your license. You may not tow for hire. A Class M1 allows you to ride any motorbike, and a Class M2 allows you to ride only a moped or motorbike below 150cc capacity. A person is prohibited from operating a motorized scooter unless they have a valid Class C driver's license or an instructional permit. A person is also prohibited from modifying the exhaust system of a motorized scooter in violation of specified noise restrictions and muffler requirements. Nearly 1 out of 5 motorcycle operators, 18%, involved in fatal crashes in 1997 were operating the vehicle without a valid license at the time of the collision. The DMV will be vigorous in responding to any attempt to alter or falsify a driver's license. Additionally, the DMV will refuse to issue or reissue a driver's license in the event that any of the following applies to an applicant. If the applicant has a history of alcohol or drug abuse, if they've used the license illegally, if they have lied on the application, if the applicant uses a crib sheet for any license examination, if they do not understand traffic laws or signs, if they do not have the skill to drive, if they suffer from a health problem that renders the applicant's driving unsafe, if the applicant has failed to appear or pay for a traffic citation, if they have not complied with a judgment or order for family support payments, if the applicant impersonates or allows another to impersonate an applicant in an effort to qualify fraudulently for a driver's license, if they refuse to provide a thumb or fingerprint for the application, if they refuse to sign the certification on the application concerning the giving of blood, urine, and/or breath samples, and if the applicant submits a fraudulent birth date, legal presence, or Social Security document. The DMV may suspend or revoke a license where evidence shows that the driver has violated any restrictions placed upon it.